Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and this is another one of my experiments. I've got this brilliant heart mould, and I love this heart mould. I will link it in the description below, and the great news is that I now can give links for anyone in Canada and Australia, as well as the United Kingdom and America. So all those links are below, and also have a Amazon shop for those as well. But what this experiment is going to be about, adding cement. Now I hear you cry, well, I've heard you do that before. But also, at the same time, I'm going to add plaster of Paris. And I want to see if I can get a kind of like a Jesmonite result from this. Now, I know Jesmonite is a particular company and brand, but I want to see if I can get the same sort of look with this. I'm going to break up any clumps that are in the cement, because I don't want them to be stuck in clumps inside the resin. So I'm doing that before I mix it all up. And then I'm going to add equal amounts of volume, not weight, of the plaster of Paris. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. And if you'd like to become a member of my channel, then the link for that is in the description, along with the links for everything else that I do and use in this video today. Now, I'm mixing this in. I could have done with a bigger pot, I think, but there we go. Because I don't think it will mix in or blend in as well together once it's inside the resin. So I'm doing that prior to the resin. And now I've got my resin mixed up, and I'm scooping a really good proportion of this through into the resin. And I'm trying to mix this slowly, because whenever you mix in a lot of powder like this, or sand or anything like that, it can create a lot of bubbles. So I'm mixing it in slowly to try and avoid that. And what I noticed there is quite a dark colour. So I'm using a white silvery mica powder here. I could have used marble powder. In fact, I don't know why I didn't. And I'm mixing that in. And what you'll see is that will lighten that up quite considerably. I think if I'd used the marble powder, it probably would have given it a less silvery tinge and made it a lot more pale. But I actually do quite like how this has come out. And now I'm decanting it into these smaller pots so that I can add some colour to it. And I'm going to be using both mica powder and some glitter to add to this to give it an effect. Now, I have no idea how these two things are going to cure up, or whether you're even going to see the mica powder or the glitter in this, but I think you will. So I'm using quite a nice dollop of the mica powder, and again I'm mixing that in as slowly as I possibly can. It will create bubbles, but I will get rid of those anyway. And the same for the mixing in the glitter. And then what I will do is I will use just a variety of colours while I'm mixing these into these pots, to have really just a variety of things to test and play with. I think the glitter has worked really well. And as you'll see a little bit later, it does come out well. I'm popping the bubbles that have come up to the top. I let it sit for about 3 or 4 minutes before I started to pour. And now I'm doing one here that is just no colour at all. And that's just the cement and the plaster of Paris. And I'm using a little bit of it as I go through and fill these moulds up. And I've got no real plan at this stage, and by this stage I've actually forgotten what colours I've used, and being colourblind I can't look at them and think, oh, that's this colour. So I'm just randomly popping these into the moulds in different kind of orders to see what happens. Now, this has thickened up quite a lot because of the added cement and plaster of Paris, and it does make the resin go a nice long way as well. So it isn't going to blend in and merge in too much and become muddy, which I think is important when you're doing these sorts of projects. If you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my experiments and my videos, it really does help support this channel, and get your name on next month's coffee board, then the link for that is also in the description below, and it's really appreciated. I'm saving for my snap maker, and I'm nearly there with it now. So I'm just finishing off filling these moulds up. Using like this one, I've done circles in the middle, and other ones I do little squiggly lines and do all different bits and shapes with them. What you'll see when this is cured is it actually does cure really, really hard, which is great, because I think that's quite important. I go over it again with my long neck lighter, not a torch. I don't want to burn this mould. Get rid of the bubbles, and then I'll let it cure up overnight. So I'm really surprised how it's reacted. Both the cement and the... Oh, that one's quite cute. Both the cement and the mica powder and the plaster of Paris. But what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to glue them together like this. So you've got two different colours, and because they're the same shape hearts, then they'll glue together nicely. And then I'm going to put a ribbon in between them. I'll show you. I've got all my ribbons cut up now, and all I need to do is glue these together. So I'm going to use some E6000 because obviously I think it works so well. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my ribbon up like that and pop it into the middle of the glue. So it's coming out the top there like that. Pop a bit more glue on this. And I will link everything in the description below, don't worry. And I can now link for Australia and Canada. So if you're living in Australia, Canada, America, or the UK, I can now link to all those countries. So it makes life a little bit easier for you. So there we go. I'm going to pop that in there. I'm just going to move that across a little bit. So it's kind of in the center of that heart because that's where I want it. And then I'm going to hold those together just using a bit of builder's tape, which won't mark the resin, but will keep everything where I want it. Line them up nicely. There we go, and that's not going to move. I'll finish off these other ones. I'm going to embellish them a little bit further, and I'll show you that once they're dry. These should all be dry now. They've been a couple of hours, and if you're wondering why I've still got a glove on, it's because I fell off a ladder, broke 2 ribs, and sprained my wrist. And I've got a support bandage on my wrist at the moment, so I've got a glove on it to prevent me getting glue and things on the support bandage, because it really does help. So they're nicely glued together, and they should hang lovely like this on any sort of tree or whatever. So I've got some bows and I've got some different bits and pieces to put on these, and you might call it gilding the lily, but I really don't mind because I like things to be a bit out there. I've got these self-sticking gems as well that I use for my card making. They're really cheap to buy, and I really should name them because I never have a clue what colour they are, but there we go. So you just pick these up like so, and then you can stick them onto things. Now these stickies aren't always brilliant, but sometimes they're better than others. So you might want to go in with a bit of glue with it, but then that's entirely up to you. And you might just want to do like I've done there, just put one on. Or you might want to put lots on in the corner there, or in the bow of the heart, or whatever it's called. Is it a bow? No, an arch of the heart. Oh, let's put one of these on. You can do it both sides if you wish. Entirely up to you. And I also have pearls that are the same sort of things. And I'm just going to put a couple of pearls the other end. Actually, I'll probably put 3 because 2 just sometimes can look like a couple of eyes looking at you. Mind you, 3 can look like a couple of eyes and a nose. And there we go. So I'll finish these off. I'll show you what they look like. Oh, I've also got these bows as well that I'm going to pop on. And I'm just going to glue them onto the ribbon as well. So I might put them there, but that shows up the little cleft of the heart. So I'll probably pop it on the ribbon or something. Well, I finished doing them up and putting some sparkles on them, and I really like how they've come out. So I put them onto both sides so that when they hang either on the tree or wherever I'm going to hang them, that they will come out. I hope you've enjoyed this project as much as I have. I really do love testing out and trying out new things, and I was surprised with the reaction of how the cement and the plaster of Paris reacted in here. I do think it makes it look quite stone-like, especially where I've got bits of white in there, and that's where I didn't overmix the white mica powder. Don't forget to hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video and you've found it really useful. It really helps my videos to get out there once you've hit that like button. And leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you'd like to become a member, or if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my videos, then the links for that, along with the links for everything that I've used, are in the description below. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.